nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
Talk and roll. Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. Thirsty Thursday here on the YouTubes, the Rumbles, the Twit-Twats, wherever you're watching it, the kickstart your day. Welcome and greetings. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a great one. The week is almost over. It is Thursday, and the week is almost over. Holy crap. This week has flown by. Good morning, Six. Good morning. I don't know if you're still here or not. Good morning, Six. First one in the door this morning. Good morning. Hopefully you are doing well. Showback, TJC. Oh, turtle. I like turtles. Like someone else we know. Good morning. Good morning, Shellback. Good morning, Puddle Jumper. Chris Burge of the Wrench of Brunches. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Everything's going good. Your weeks are going good. Things are getting kick-started or coming to a close, slowly coming to a close, and you got your big day Friday tomorrow, and then the weekend. Man, who isn't ready for the weekend? Who isn't ready for the weekend? We need the weekend to get here, and we need to get done with the Olympics. My God, what is going on at the Olympics? Who knew? Who knew? I guess they knew, because they did this whole thing at the beginning where you had the show and them making fun of the Last Supper and them glorifying all this. And then some poor girl goes out and gets her nose broken by a dude in a boxing match. What world are we living in? What messed up, bizarro world are we living in when they're like, yeah, you can go box. You can go box. We'll raise your hand up too after it's all said and done. Poor girl was like, I've never been hit that hard in my life. Broke a nose in one punch. And you wonder why. You wonder why. There's a reason why this stuff doesn't isn't allowed. There's a reason why you don't do this. There's a reason why you have the women's division and the men division. Why? Because, wow, isn't it interesting that the dudes are stronger than the chicks? Who would have ever thought that? Who would have ever thought that? God help me, dude. It is this craziness and this BS needs to stop. It needs to stop. You know what? I don't care what if a person wants to go and do crazy crap to themselves. That's their choice. That's up to them. That's their choice. But you don't make it. You don't. No, not in competition like that. Not in competition like that. That is not what that woman signed up for. That's not what she trained for. That's not what she kicked butt and took names for. No. I thought they made it illegal for men to compete against women in the Olympics. What changed? It says they're a woman on their passport, even though they failed their exam. It says they're women on their passport, so they let them compete. So, whatever. I'm just like, it's a shit show. It's a shit show on every level. Until we stop allowing this in competitive sports, it's just going to keep on happening. You're going to have somebody that's like, no, I want to be a winner. So I'll go over here to this division and I'll be a winner because I'm faster. I'm stronger. It's absolutely nuts. I tell you what, who isn't faster and stronger though? Good morning, everybody. Mark the Infantard says, men have no business in women's sports. It doesn't matter what you identify as. You're born with XY chromosomes. Period. That's the end of the conversation right there. If this is the way you were born, that's it. That's it. And that's, the IB, so the women's boxing, I can't remember what was the IB. Hold on. Give me just a second here. I'll tell you exactly what it is. So they would not let them compete. They would not let this person compete in the official boxing, the Women's Boxing Federation. They would not let them compete. They were banned. And the Olympics let them do it anyway. They were not allowed, IOC, thank you, Soul Assassin. They were not allowed to compete because they have an advantage. They have a physical advantage. So that's why they were disqualified in the competition that is just before the Olympics, yes. And then the Olympics allowed them in. So this is brain dead bullshit. The fact that this is what is coming up. This is what is happening. There shouldn't even be discussion about it. Absolutely correct, Anima. There shouldn't even be discussion about it. And I'm already off topic because I didn't plan on talking about that, but I woke up to that and I was like, that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So they didn't even qualify in what's essentially the prelims. Yes. They didn't even qualify as but they got into the Olympics, by God. Imagine that. Imagine that. You can just go to the Olympics and be like, I'm competing. It's not, no. No. And then a female MMA fighter accepted a challenge like that, and she had her skull cracked by a single punch. Yes. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. This is what they want to allow. This is what our overlords here in the United States just changed the law to allow. So that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Sorry, but this is absolutely embarrassing. It's sad. Why not just give them full access to cheat? Does anybody remember the big steroid thing back in the day with Russia and how they basically had juiced up competitors and they finally got caught, and it was like, no more. They've been caught. Where's the same justice at? There isn't any, because everybody's afraid. So everybody's afraid. Everybody's afraid of saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing or looking the wrong way. You know what? Someone told me yesterday, and they may be listening this morning. Someone told me yesterday, they said, it's no wonder the bigger channels don't, like, shout out and push for the smaller channels anymore, because you never know who you are promoting anymore. And you promote the wrong person, and that's it. That's it. That's the end. You get labeled this, you get labeled that, you get associated with a person, and they do something dumb, and suddenly it's over. And you don't really even have to do anything dumb. All you have to do is be accused of it, because that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Or you have to say something really monumentally stupid. Let's go with that. So does anybody here want to make $10 million a year? Anybody here would like that? Would you like to make $10 million a year? First question, what is it? What do I have to do, Loki? What do I have to do to make the $10 million a year? Just do YouTube. That's it. Do YouTube, play some video games, hang out, have a good time, but have a good time. Pretty much what we're doing now. Well, yeah, I do. 6 does. Raise your hand if you want to make $10 million a year doing this. Raise your hand. $10 million. $10 million. And you can't bitch and moan because you're making $10 million doing this. So anybody, raise your hand. Mark the Ampling Tired does. Project Cambrian does. $10 million a year. How many women are going to have to be detrimentally injured before these people will say, okay, we're wrong? They never will. They never will. Arlena, boom. Arlena wants, I'm in. Psychodorf 9, sign me up. Soul Assassin, would you bitch and moan? Oh Lord, not on YouTube though. Well, you got to do it on YouTube. Would you bitch and moan making $10 million a year? So there's a little gentleman out there, little tiny guy, named Moist Critical. His real name's Chris. Moist Critical. And no, I didn't just dox him because everybody knows his name's Chris. So Moist Critical makes $10 million a year on YouTube. Is it possible? Yes, it is, because there's a guy who does it. And he's always said, I'm not going to do this anymore if it's not fun. Well, he has this big blow up. And he's tired of drama, and he's tired of people bringing drama in his door. He's tired of what's happening in this. He's tired of what's happening. It says, I quit drama. And it goes out all across the interwebs. Moist Critical quits YouTube. He's not doing it anymore. And then later that day, he's in a video game on YouTube going, I never said I was quitting anything. But you were just bitching about and saying how it wasn't fun anymore. And then he's like, well, I said if it wasn't fun, I'm having fun. But you're bitching and you're crying like a little bitch. Making $10 million. $10 million a year. $10 million a year on YouTube. And you're bitching and moaning and crying like you just got your ass beat by a real dude in the Olympics. What the shit, dude? Why are you bitching, moaning, and crying and then going, oh, I'm not quitting. I just said I'd quit drama. You make $10 million a year. All of us, everybody that is involved on YouTube has been through drama, has been through BS, has been through hard times, has been through the ringer. Every single one of us. Why are you so special? Why are you special? Never heard of him. Yeah, look up Moist Critical. He's a little bitch. He got his rise to fame on hot takes about all kinds of stuff, but he cries. He cries. Making $10 million a year. I've heard of the Moist guy. Yeah. $10 million a year. and he's bitching and moaning about things that don't matter. How did you get here? How did you get here? Because, I mean, in the last 5 years, and it's been almost 5 years, we're getting close. I think September will be 5 years of uploading, and then in January, we'll have 5 years of Mornings of Mischief. In 5 years, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I have been caught up in the middle of the night and told that a guy's getting canceled and that I had to get on into this stupid Zoom call and listen to all the things they had supposedly done for getting canceled, and was like, I've had a friend that almost got canceled. I've been in drama. I've been in the middle of it. I defended a dude's family when some crazy witch went after him. You name it. I've been there. I've done it. I've been through it. There are rumors. There's BS, and there's all kinds of crazy crap that go on around here. Why? Because everybody wants one thing. They want this to be life. You know what? This is like high school. How many times have you heard that? How many times have you heard that? Some of us try and make it not like high school. Some of us try and co-op and collaborate and work together and have a good time, as long as we're having a good time, right? As long as we're having a good time, as long as we're having fun. We really mean that, and want to stay out of the BS. We want to stay out of the BS. We don't need that. We don't want that. We don't want that to be our rise to fame. We don't want any of that. It's like grade school, even worse than high school. 6 is it's like grade school. You got people stomping their feet. You got people having fits. You've got people walking off of shows. You've got people crying in the back because they didn't get enough time to talk. You've got, oh my God. Oh. But then you'll have this kick-ass conversation. Loki, why if it's that bad? Because sometimes you'll have this kick-ass conversation with people, or you'll nail that video that you've been working on. Everything just kind of flows. I love getting in the editing room and working on stuff. And man, when everything is flowing and you're it's like putting a puzzle together as fast as you can. I love shit like that. I have fun doing stuff like that. That gets my creative fix, is when I'm in an editing room and I'm like putting the puzzle piece together. Showback's still not dating a hot cheerleader. Make your move, brother. Make your move. You got to make your move. I don't like grade, middle, and high school. But you're making $10 million a year and you're bitching. $10 million a year. We don't make $10 million a year here. No one I know on YouTube makes even $1 million a year. Maybe Gary. No one else makes $1 million a year on YouTube. No one that I know. You're making 10. And you're bitching and you're moaning and you're complaining. Dude, get it. Good smack. Is YouTube possible while avoiding drama? Part of the appeal of YouTube is the people. So unless you live stream in a vacuum, don't live stream. That's the only way. Don't live stream. Don't collaborate. Don't work with anybody. Don't talk to anybody. You have to be in a vacuum. You have to be in a vacuum. You have to. It's the only way. It's the only way. You have to not associate with anybody, not do live streams, Maybe you can do live streams, but even then, there's going to be people that roll in and cause drama, especially with other people, because they want to see it. This is the thing, okay? And I saw this early, and I mostly learned what to avoid. There's still sometimes I stick my foot in it, but normally that's because of people I care about, people I genuinely give a shit about, that I will speak up for and say, no, you don't get to do that. There will be people that come in your chat and start shit because people like drama. So in the beginning, towards the beginning, I met this crazy gentleman that was going after a guy named Snowdub. This guy, Testicles, was going after Snowdub and wanted to absolutely ruin Snowdub because Snowdub didn't want to play ball with this guy. And this guy took a co-host. He literally just took a co-host. Now, how do you be like, Loki, what do you mean he took a co-host? I mean, he was in this guy's ear so much, talking so much shit, that he literally just reached over on the board and was like, you come over here. And the guy did. Caused a lot of shit. Caused a lot of shit, a lot of drama, a lot of BS. And it's all because of this guy's idea that this is like wrestling. It's like wrestling. You cause drama and you set up fights with other people and you do blah, blah, blah. And that's how you get people excited and interested. And I was like, this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. And this guy was just a piece of shit. Absolute POS. Went after a couple people that I know, and eventually it all circled around and bit him in the ass. But that was his thing. Who you listen to and whose advice you take. Punk Water's got it. Punk Water's got it. Channels that seem to not have drama, it's just behind the scenes. And it blows up later. Just look at the news today. Look at all of it. Look at all of it. If you think we haven't had drama around here, shit. Drama, rumors, bullshit. Someone told me a rumor they had heard 3 years ago, and I was like, I'm not surprised. Why would I be surprised? Why would that surprise me? It used to. If I'd heard it 3 years ago, I'd have been like, what the? Now, though, I'm like, whatever. It's always going to be out there. It's always going to be floating out there. And you're going to have people that want to take you out at the knees. And they will do anything and say anything and repost anything and run their mouths. Because that's where they live. That is where they live. They live in the I'm going to run my mouth department. So they go around and they run their mouths. And then once they're in, people are too afraid to do anything about it because they're pussies. Just like what we're seeing on a lot of shit now. You know what? A lot of the problems today in the entertainment industry, the gaming industry, all of it, the Olympics, is someone standing up and saying, no. We're not gonna do that. No, we're not gonna have that. No, we're not gonna let that go on. Instead, everybody's worried about getting canceled. Everyone's worried about getting canceled. Because if you stand up against it, suddenly you're in the target, the bullseye's on you, and you're standing alone. You've been culled from the herd. You have been culled from the herd and separated from the herd, and you stand alone. Immortal Coil, what's up, Immortal Coil? There's a difference between channels who are about their own personality, cult, versus channels that are about content. But can a channel that's just about content get pulled into all that other bullshit? You're damn right it can. That's why some people are very, 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 very careful. And they're just like, I'm not going to work with anybody. I'm just doing my own thing because it's too dangerous. You know what's funny? You know what's really funny? The other day, I heard this crazy thing. So, who was it? Ninja? Was it Ninja who said this? He said, I don't talk to women in a private space. I don't DM anybody except for this person, that person, because we all work together. I don't go into voice chats where I'm alone with a woman. I don't do this, right? All this stuff where he's just like, I'm not putting myself in that position, right? Now, does that sound acceptable to you? I'm not going to put myself in a position where A, B, C, and D can happen, right? You would think that. You would think that, right? You would think that. They found a way to turn that and turn it against him and said, this is the problem with gamers today. This is the problem with males. This is the problem with this, is that this is misogyny 101, that they won't give women a chance. They don't trust women. They're all blah, 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 because he won't put himself in a vulnerable position with a woman. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you guys something. Imagine being called a misogynist because you won't invite a woman you work with up to your room in a hotel during a convention. Imagine that. You're a horrible, misogynistic person because you will not be in a room with a coworker, a female coworker, in a hotel. Because you're like, nope, because nope. Nothing could happen. You could have an absolutely wonderful conversation. Everything's going good. You're friends. Nothing untoward happens. Nothing crazy happens. She leaves. You're like, wow, what a great person. What a great individual. Turn on some TV. Next thing you know, you wake up in the morning and she's got like, she's in the news. She's got a bruise on her face. Her top's ripped. And it's like, Ninja did this. And you're like, what? And don't tell me it hasn't happened. Don't tell me it hasn't happened and it doesn't happen like that. Don't you dare. Because yes, it has. Yes, it has. And they know it has. High five to him. Absolutely. So IGN comes out with this crazy thing. Kurt knows that's right. That's right. And Adega remembers. Adega remembers. Adega, if you want to put that in chat, by all means, put that in chat. Because it'll be crazier coming from you than it will be from me. Put it in chat, brother. Hashtag Kurt knows. What does Kurt know? Kurt knows. Do you know why Kurt knows? Because Kurt grabbed Adega one day and said, I'm not having a discussion with this person in a room on Discord. Get your ass in here and be there as a witness, because I'm not doing it. I'm not putting myself in that position. Kurt knows. Kurt knows what's up. Why? Because anything can happen and you could be accused of anything. Anything could happen. No, not alone. Not alone, Papa Cotton. There was a rumor. So there was a huge rumor that two people were getting the nasty on at a meetup, right? Huge rumor. Two people were getting the nasty on at a meetup. Did it happen? I don't know. Were they in a closed room together? Yep. How do I know that? Multiple witnesses. but we don't know what happened. Anything could have happened. They're two grown adults, but one of them's married. Uh-oh. Don't do it. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Not by yourself. Always have somebody there. Have a wingman. Have backup. Don't do it. Psychodorf9, what's up, brother, with a $5 super chat. Starting the month off strong with Psychodorf9. Got slandered because I didn't do anything but be respectful. I didn't do anything but be respectful. How many of you have been there? How many of you have been there? How many of you had rumors thrown at you? How many? Leave the hotel room door open. Boom, 6. Thank you, Psychodorf9, for your $5 super chat, brother. Let's get the fires going this morning, right? Let's get the fires burning bright. Let's go! So what? You're a misogynist because you want to be careful? How many of y'all out there are married? How many of y'all out there don't want to be in a position where a woman is being accused of anything and having your marriage ruined and having all those questions around and having all that crap because you put yourself in a position and you didn't even get anything out of it? Man, you didn't even get anything out of it. Nothing happened, but you get accused of it and you get railed because nothing happened. You were just a gentleman. Maybe it's me or how I was raised, but it's always inappropriate to be alone with the opposite sex in any place without a third party there. Well, now you're a misogynist if that's the way you feel. It's misogyny that brought you there. No, they just want the opportunity to be alone in a room with you. And guys are learning. Guys are like, Guys are like, nope. Do you know how big of a drop there's been in the dating scene? Because guys are like, I'm not putting everything I've built, everything I've done on the line because someone can just point a finger at me and I'm done. I'm done and that's it. You want to know one of the reasons why these what we saw, the boxing thing, it's a protected class. It's a protected class now. You're protected from all this. Why? Because you're this. Hell, they can't even get them on CP now. CP, look what just happened with what's her name? Chrissy, whatever. That all that crazy situation over there. All that information's been taken down. It's been wiped. Why? Why is it Chris Tyson? Thank you. Why has it been all taken down and removed? To protect a protected class. To protect a protected class. Kid stuff, 6. Stuff involving kiddos. To protect a protected class from any ramifications over inappropriate shit. That's what it comes down to. They are protected. They are without reproach. You can't do anything to them. And you know what? There are flocking to that scene that have absolutely they don't care, but everything's protected. They're not that. They're not one of that. But they're absolutely protected under that armor. It's armor. It's the equivalent of bulletproof armor in 2020. Nothing can happen to them. That has to stop. All that has to stop. CP. 6. Think of initials. Bad people stuff. And they can get away with it. They can get away with it because they are a protected class. You have made that a protected class. This is the new thing. And they are shielded from any harm that anybody wants to do them. They can do whatever. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wood chippers and remote hole punchers. So you can get away with anything. Those who do these things are protected, yeah, because they're in that armor. They're in that rainbow armor. Nothing can happen to them. We have got to get over this whole thing and get out of clown world, because that's where we're living at today. That's where we're living at today. Go back to, I was talking about this the other day. Go back to, 1500s France, and you had protected classes. There were classes that were protected from anything. They didn't have to deal with justice. They could get away with anything. They could do damn near anything they wanted to. And they were protected under the elitist umbrella. Well, there's your elitist umbrella now, and it's rainbow. Should it be that way? No, absolutely freaking not. A sexist, and what else? I love it. Yeah. Oh yeah, Arlena. Oh yeah, IGN came out and said that that Ninja was all this stuff because he would not be alone. This is what's wrong in the gaming industry. This is what's wrong. This is why women haven't had their chance, and blah 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 blah. Guys don't want their entire life ruined over a crazy person pointing a finger and saying you did this when they didn't do anything. But Loki, what about the ones who did do something? They've got to pay their penance. They've got to do their deed. Well, we can't have that if we don't take everything. If a woman wants to destroy a guy, all she has to do is point her finger and say bad. That's it. Do you think that works the other way around? Do we live in an environment where a guy was like, she did this crazy shit, and look what Johnny Depp went through. Look at what Johnny Depp went through just to go, this is what I lived with. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt too. Twice. This is what I lived with. This is what I dealt with. The dog stepped on a bee and took a human-sized dump in my bed. This is what I dealt with. And there were people that still won't accept the fact that this woman chopped his damn finger off, came at him like a crazy person. No. Mm-mm. And Johnny had that amen foo and thought, this is the love of my life, and didn't understand why it was going so bad. We get along great. We have this, we have that. What's going on? Why does it always turn into this? Because there are some people out there that are absolutely positively fucking nuts. That's why. I had someone show up at my house when I lived in Missouri. They just showed up at my house. I am not kidding. How did they show up at your house? Did you give them your... No, I didn't give them shit. They got a hold of my phone number from somebody. And they used that to figure out where I lived. And they showed up at my house. I did not let them in the door. I was like, oh my God, let's go grab lunch. You're here, let's go get lunch. I'll take my car, you take your car. No in the car together bullshit. No in the car together bullshit. Took separate cars, went and had lunch, public place. Thank you so very much. And then they got aggravated when they started to realize that Loki's not going to take you back to the house and bed you. They got aggravated and they got upset. And it started to come out. And I was like, nope, this isn't going that way. This isn't turning into this. It's not happening. I appreciate the drive, but no. And if you think it sounds creepy, it's 10 times creepier in person. I'm a dude, and I was like, nope. And then they told me how they got my address. Well, I got a hold of your phone number. I asked someone for your phone number. And they gave me your phone number, and then I used that. I'm like, this person like background checked me and all this crazy shit to find my address so they could just show up at my door. No. Around the same time, I had a crazy lady making videos about that had like a living room, like a dollhouse living room with 20 like different Lokis standing around talking to each other and doing all this stuff. And then there's one Sylvie. There's one femme Sylvie from the Loki show sitting on the couch with her hand out like she's messing with the controller. And that was supposed to be her. That was supposed to be her, surrounded by all the Lokis in the room. That is freaky. And I was like, that's a misery level shit that I was like, nope, nope. Coincidentally enough, that's the same person. I grabbed Adega and dragged him into the Discord and was like, I'm not being in this room alone with this person. And then to have someone show up at my house. No. Right there. Yes. Soul assassin. No, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. And I'm supposed to be like, oh no, I should be in a room with a woman alone that I barely know, or I should be okay with being in a hotel room with this person and not worrying about it. And it doesn't, no. Because all it takes is one jaded, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. You say no and they ruin your life. You trying to take the honorable, listen, I'm married, I appreciate it, blah, 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 blah. Thank you so very much, but no. And they decide they want to ruin your life. There's nothing you can do to stop them. Because you've been in a room with them alone. They can say anything happened. They can go jam a kumquat in there and be like, he did this and blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. And that's it. Your hands are tied. You're screwed. And you just got canceled. No, be smarter, gentlemen. Be like ninja. Take the ninja route of, I'm not going to put myself in this horrible situation. And screw IGN and anybody else that's like, oh, that's misogyny or that's this. No, that's a setup, guys. This is women wanting to set you up and ruin your life. Because that's what they want. They get no better glee than, it's like the Black Widow thing. Does anybody remember Goldeneye? Remember Nastasha Romanenko or whatever her name is in Goldeneye? How she's sitting there and she's like with the AK, do. And she's like, oh. That's what they're doing while they're canceling you. That is what they are doing when they are canceling you. They are literally getting off on headhunting you and getting rid of you. Doesn't matter who you are. If you're a dude, you are fresh game. Do not put yourself in a position where you can get axed because they want to headhunt and get rid of any men that are in this space. Because they will. They will get rid of you. We had a guy, that one guy self-deleted because his whole life was ruined because of one crazy Zendaya on the top. On the top? On Zendaya. Zendaya on the top. Yes, on the top. I'm thinking Black Widow. But she was a Black Widow, right? That's probably why I got the Nastasha Romanenko. Zendaya on the top. On the top? On the top. She curses men with her thighs. Oh, joy. They get off on this. This is what they do. This is how they have fun. This is how they spend their time. I'm going to get this dude canceled and removed and ruin his life. And then I'm going to go rub one out because I get excited about this shit. Bamka. Andy Masterson. Oh, Bamka Jen. Oh. But guys will walk right in. Why? Because dumb redhead, hot redhead, dumb man, lion mouth, head, lion mouth. And the ones that are careful, the ones that are like, nope, I'm not going to put myself in this position. Those are the ones. Those are the ones that they go after the hardest because they want them gone. Those are the ones sitting there screeching at you, saying, oh my God, how dare you not be in a closed door hotel room, blah, 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 with your female coworker that makes 1/100th what you do, but will make 10 times what you do with a scandal. Be smart, gentlemen. Be smart. Don't put yourself in this position. Worst part is there's still good, decent women out there, and guys don't want to give them a chance because of the crazy bitches. So glad I'm not single. They do not. I have to say, though, gentlemen, please try to pick up on signals. If she says no, believe her the first time. No, I absolutely agree. 6, I absolutely agree. That's common sense. And sometimes guys don't have common sense. They think, oh, this is the time where they want me to initiate chase mode. No. Because they call that stalking mode. Don't be a stalker, dude. Don't be one of them. God gave men 2 heads, but only enough blood to work one at a time. Exactly. So don't be dumb. And don't get excited because some crazy ginger minge comes in and acts like you're the greatest thing in the world, especially those guys that are married. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You'll lose everything. Don't do it. Why? Because all it takes is an accusation and the person's canceled and they're done. And that's it. I got a buddy who installed webcams in his home because his broad is regularly psycho and accusative. Oh yeah, imagine that. So did anybody hear about the dude that was being poisoned? His coffee was being poisoned. So he had like this weird taste. His coffee tasted weird, right? And I can't remember what it was, whether it was like Roto-Rooter or bleach or something. But how she was doing it was she was putting it in the coffee pot. She was putting it in the coffee pot to take him out. This is real. This is a rumor. This really happened. So what he ended up doing is he knew something was going on. So it was his wife. It was bleach. Okay. Release McCracken knows what I'm talking about. It was bleach. So what he did was he set up cameras that she didn't know about. Yes, Soul Assassin. So you guys know about this. It was bleach. So he sets up cameras and he records her. And when they're like, why did you set up cameras if you kind of knew what's going on? He goes, because I knew I'd have to have indisputable evidence. She was trying to kill me to get out of this. I knew if I didn't, I was screwed. So I just kept acting like I was drinking it when I wasn't and went along with it until I got it all on camera. Bleach in the coffee pot. Why? Because no one would have believed him if he hadn't had it on film. Let me ask you something. What's the balance here? What's the balance here? Let's talk about the balance here. Married man figures out his wife's trying to kill him. Okay? Married man figures out that she's putting bleach in his coffee, but knows nobody's going to believe him unless he gets it on camera. So he gets it on camera. And then they ask him, why did you go through the trouble of doing this, this, and this instead of just reporting it? He said, because I knew if I didn't get you on camera, no one would ever believe me. Woman accuses man of impropriety in a hotel. Has multiple instances of lying about stuff like this. Guy gets canceled. She gets like a talk show on IGN. This is the world we live in. This is the balance. This guy has to go through video and has to do all this bullshit just so people believe him when he's like, this bitch is trying to kill me. This light shit that doesn't weigh anything is immediately believed and ran with. Guy's a horrible shit. Guy ends up self-deleting. And then afterwards, everybody finds out the bitch lied about everything. This is the world we live in. Rumors. This is what rumors does. This is the rumor network. Unfortunately, yes, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Andy Masterson. When I first met my wife, she fixed me up with a hot coke addict. When I first met my wife, I was involved with a crazy, out of control, in her midlife bullshit that was in a penny for a pound on physical bullshit and shit. And that was soon to end. And as I moved on and got to know my wife, I went into a much better place and got away from all that bullshit. What are you saying, Loki? Were you in? Oh yeah. I honestly, if I'd have stayed in the situation I was in, I'd probably be dead by now. I probably wouldn't be here. Just because of the situation that I was in. So, who drinks hot Coke? Monkey Jeebus. Don't, just because you think, oh, this is going to be a great lay, guys, doesn't mean that is, She stole 800 of my favorite dollars, then I dumped her. To quote Bebo, get married and keep your schmeckle in your pants. Your pickle in your porridge. Puddle jumper, I feel lucky with my life. Yeah? I'm extremely lucky. We don't fight, we don't argue, we don't really get into it. We've had our little, like, once in a blue moon, but that is very much the 0.1% of the relationship. Everybody will have something go on, but I think that excuse the people that use that when they like fight every day or fight every week or whatever, are trying to justify the fact that they're not good for each other. And they're trying to defend that. Indeed, I do, Six. Thank you very much. Just to give you an idea of the coolness factor. I forget what I was doing. I think I'd just come inside from like rolling up a tarp outside or something. And Eris is like, hey, come here real quick. I come over there. And she's like interested, and she holds up her phone, and it is the Doom album. Not for the 2016 Doom, because I've got that. I've got like the super edition with the red records, but another one that has the green and the like the armored color, and it's from a different Doom. And I was like, yeah. She goes, okay. That's how cool. Because she was just like hanging out, looking at records, and was like, oh, cool, Doom. Check that out. Yeah. Hell yeah. My wife thought it was funny when I asked her to see if she fit in the fishing cooler at the Bass Pro Shop. And that right there. Working together. Working together. If you can't work together, you can't do it. You can't do it. So you got to work together. You got to be a team. Same thing almost on YouTube. If you work together with good people and you work together as a team and you're not trying to dig each other over for percentage points or BS, I think you're going to do great. Collab, work together with people. Kick ass, take names, chew bubblegum. Don't turn on each other though. That's the thing. That's what always brings it down. Is it the Toto soundtrack? Okay. Doom. Doom. Not Doom. I'm sorry if it sounded like Dune, but Doom. So this is the album that I've got, and it's got the blood red, records and all the right, but it's a double LP, blood red. But this was a different Doom. So game, but a different one. So that's from Doom, the Doom before Doom Eternal. So Doom, not Doom. It's a partnership. 100 and 100 in a relationship. So yesterday, yeah, Doom. Yesterday, Eris calls me. So we'll talk this real quick and then we'll get it out of here because we just passed our hour. Eris calls me and is like, hey, I'm doing this, but I got to go by Walmart. Do you need me to pick anything up for you? And I'm like, I've got meds that I've been meaning to go and get the last couple of days. I just haven't had any time to do it. So I'm like, yeah, will you pick that up for me? And she goes, yeah, of course. And I do stuff for her all the time. And we will do stuff for each other all the time. And we are each other's like, okay, you've done this enough. Let's go do this, and let's go get something to eat, or let's go have a meal, or let's go blah blah blah. And you can clear your head, and we're always there, always helping. Always there, always helping each other. Always there, always supporting each other. Because that's what we do. Yeah, I got the good crazy. Not the bad crazy. Guys, I understand that, you know, you're like, oh my God, ginger minge. But sometimes the ginger minge has a lot of crazy to it. So be careful. We're getting out of here. We'll be back later tonight for 7 Kinds of Mischief with a Dig Outlaw on this channel. We've got a guest coming on. Vinny. Tada. I can never say his last name. God help me. I can never say his last name. Tartamella. Vinny Tartamella is going to be on talking about his comic book and his recent novels. And he's just put something up on the market. So come hang out tonight on 7 Kinds of Mischief. We'll talk about that with the Dega Outlaw and Vinny. Until then, guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. And we'll see you on the next Thirsty Thursday. Have a great day, everybody.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.